phones. You're not selling anything.
The Fed's not done, and I'm going to tell you why.
Welcome to Sean's show, everyone. Yay, thank you for joining. I'm here with George. Hello. As always, my wonderful producer. We have a lot to get into. I hope you had a great weekend. How's your 401k doing? Oh, wait. People that listen to this don't have 401ks. People that listen to this have a Honda Civic. And people listen to this have sleeping bags in a Honda Civic. Or, no, and I mean that in a positive way. Because a lot of rich people don't have 401ks. So that was actually a compliment. If you guys don't know, I was trying to compliment you. I'm not trying to say that you don't have 401ks, therefore you're poor. I'm trying to say that you don't have 401ks because you don't need them. That's where I'm going. But I hope. Oh, George, could you turn my headphones up a little? Thank you. I'm a narcissist in that way. Perfect. Thank you. I hope you're having a great week. We are. I was out in Dallas, Fort Worth area this past weekend. I went to a wedding of a good friend of mine who I'd never met, which I feel like is every wedding. I feel like every wedding you go to is like two people that you kind of vaguely know, and you just kind of have it was a good time. No, it was my girlfriend's best friend's wedding, and it was awesome. I got to take photos with llamas. There were llamas at this wedding. And pretty much the whole time, it was just giving my girlfriend really expensive ideas for our wedding. And so that was bad. She was like, baby, let's do llamas. I'm like, I haven't even proposed. Baby, can we do llamas at our wedding? I want to have a destination wedding in Cancun. I want llamas flown in from Dubai. I'm like, let's pay our rent. Can we pay our rent? I want llamas flown in from Dubai, and I want a little Irish boy set on fire, and we all watch him run around and burn to death at our wedding. No, that was my idea. Hers was llamas. Mine is like, let's set a child on. No, it was a good wedding. I had a lot of fun. Really cold, but it was very fun, and it was nice to get away. So but the funny, it was a funny time to celebrate. Celebrating in this moment in history is hard, or it's almost more fun because you're like. I was like drinking. I don't drink, but like I was like having like mocktails and like eating like white chocolate raspberry cake, and then checking the news, and it's like this, like the CEO of JP Morgan has committed suicide. You know what I mean? Like that's what's coming, by the way. Like what's coming is like you're gonna be at a birthday party eating chocolate cake and talking about like the White Lotus, and you're gonna open your phone and the news is gonna be like Goldman Sachs CEO arrested and shot. I mean, like, that's where we're not shot. Let's be honest. He's not going to die. He'll probably be doing the shooting. Because that's what's going to happen. I mean, we're really, it's a very scary time. And look, guys, a lot of you listen to this show, not for people don't listen to this show for spiritual guidance, I think, or my strategic advice on the financial geopolitical climate. But that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on tariffs, but it seems to me that charging China 104% it's not even, again, that's why I'm not an expert. I'm already wrong. People are going to be like, well, tariffs are not like, you don't charge the country, like we pay the tariff. Hey, if you're a guy, let me send a message. If you're a guy who's on X or on Facebook and being like, no, idiot, we don't pay the tariffs, China pays, shut the fuck up. No, the only thing that we're all paying for is suffering listening to you. We're all paying. You go, no, dumbass, we pay the tariffs. Or on both sides, you're like, we don't pay the tariffs, China pays the we're all suffering. You're paying. Can we just have you pay the tariffs? What is it? What is a tariff? I still don't know. The thing is with the tariffs, I didn't know, and then I read a lot about it, and I thought I knew, and now I don't know again. It's like a tariff. It's a tariff cycle from hell. I feel like there's like, Dante's Inferno, where it was like the 9 levels of hell, and every layer, the 9 layers of hell, and every layer was like a new hell. I feel like that's what a tariff is. Like you don't know what it is, then you learn about what it is, and then you're like, okay, I understand what they are. And then like you dig deeper and you're like, wait a minute, now I don't know what they are again. And then like you dig even deeper and you're like, okay, now I actually know what it is. And I'm at the point where I thought I really knew and now I don't know. So I gave up. If you try to understand tariffs, I don't understand why people are trying to understand what a tariff is. We have no power. It's just doesn't make and that's me too. Like I'm trying to read about tariffs as if I'm the Secretary of the Treasury. You understand? Like I'm reading about tariffs as if I'm in Trump's cabinet making economic policy. Like I'm Scott Bessent. You know what I mean? Like that's honestly, if you really want to know that, if you want a test for how you know that someone's a narcissist, it's whether or not they know about it, whether they're trying to understand the tariff conversation. If someone's really dedicated to trying to understand the tariffs, they're not a good person. You need to step away from that person. They're going to bring pain into your life. But we're retaliating, I guess. So there's retaliatory tariffs. What's the point? What is the point of any of this? You know, I'm like nihilistic. Like that's where I am with the news. I don't know where you guys are at. Like I'm like a nihilist when it comes to the news. I just read the news and I'm like, okay, we're great. You know, great. Like I read it and I'm like, tariffs increased 30% on China. I don't know what that means. And then they come back and now our tariffs on China are 104%. I don't know. Again, I understand that maybe Trump's negotiating. I understand that like this is not going to be permanent. Now, if it, but that shouldn't put you at ease. Like, I think a lot of people that support Trump's economic policy, what they're saying right now is they're going to go like, of course, you're like, this is crazy, isn't it? And they're like, no, idiot. Of course, 104% tariffs on China isn't going to be permanent. Trump's just negotiating. Duh. Of course, it's not going to be permanent. You're right. It's not going to be permanent. It's going to be temporary. But it will be long enough to the point where we'll all be homeless, and then it'll end. Like that's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be temporary, but it's gonna only last long enough to where the middle class is gone. We're all gonna, you understand? Like we're all gonna be homeless, and then the tariffs are gonna be lifted, and then everyone that supports Trump's gonna be like, "See, idiot! I told you they wouldn't last forever. Give me that fentanyl. You've had enough today. I haven't had any. Give it to me." When the tariffs will end when the water wars start. When we start to kill each other over bottled water, which by the way has microplastics in it. I just learned from George that I guess we all have See, the thing is everyone's like, oh, you have a spoon of microplastic in your brain by the time you die. I'm different. I'm going to have 8. I just eat I eat macroplastics. People always talk about, oh, are you getting all your macronutrients? How about all your macroplastics? Because I live in the future. Let's put a pin in this, George. But I want to talk about, what's his name? Brian Johnson. Let's make a note. Brian Johnson, who is who I've covered before, is that Silicon Valley guy who's trying to live forever. There's a very fun update on him, and it's not good for him. It's not looking good. So we'll talk about that later. That's kind of less important. But for now, let's dive into the news, shall we? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're staying sane, because that's the most important thing. You have to stay sane. You can't let the noise and the news and the microplastics make you insane. I'm a big guy. I'm on a bunch of caffeine, as you could tell, but I'm also a big believer in manifestation. If you manifest that there's no microplastics in your bloodstream, then there won't be any microplastics in your bloodstream. Do you understand? If I wake up every day and I look in the mirror and I go, there are no microplastics in my brain. There are no microplastics in my bloodstream. I am confident. I'm strong. There are no microplastics in my testicles. I'm strong. and it works. It works. Let's take a look at this tariff. That's the tariff news here. This is an update from, I guess by the time you listen to this, it'll be 12 hours old. But let's take a little look at the retaliatory tariffs. It's actually two layers of retaliatory tariffs. And let's take a look at what. So here's the headline: Wall Street slides again as U.S. forges ahead with, get this, 104% tariffs on China. Which again, I don't know, but if I understand tariffs correctly, that is an amount that American companies are paying when they import goods from China. Okay? Again, I might be wrong on this, and you can yell at me from your car or wherever you listen to this, but how I understand it is that if you're a business owner in America, let's say you're Apple or GE, and you want to buy, let's say, a kid from China, and you want to use a kid for child, no, well, that is what happens, but let's say you're Apple and you want to buy glue for, industrial glue for your iPhones. Let's say that you're Apple and you are manufacturing iPhones and you need to buy a very specialized industrial glue for the iPhone from China. What Trump has done is Trump has said, if you're importing that industrial glue from China and it costs $10 a gallon, now it's going to cost $20 a gallon. So you think about the amount of stuff that every business in America imports from China. And now we are effectively doubling the costs. We're effectively artificially doubling the cost of goods that American businesses need. It's basically really the idea. And again, I'm not an expert on the economy. This Chinese guy seems like he knows what he's talking about. Let's see what this Chinese official has to say after we hit them back.
Chinese people do not provoke trouble, but we are not afraid of it.
Oh, can you pause it?
Resorting to
I thought that was like the Chinese guy's voice. If you're just listening, the video is like a Chinese guy in front of a Chinese flag, and I heard a British voice. I was like, hold on, this is a British immigrant. This is a British immigrant that somehow became a Chinese official. But no, it's a dub, as they say. It's a dub. Okay.
pressure, threats and blackmail is not the right way to engage with China. China will take all necessary countermeasures to resolutely safeguard its legitimate and lawful rights and interests. The actions of the US side have not demonstrated any genuine willingness for serious dialogue. If the US truly wishes to engage in talks, it should adopt an attitude of equality, mutual respect and reciprocity. If it persists in disregarding the common interests of both countries and the international community and insists on escalating the trade and tariff conflict, China will, as always, fight to the end.
I don't like the sound of that. I don't like it when a Chinese politician says, fight to the end. What does that mean? Trump got the... You gotta understand, guys, Chinese politicians, if you may... Again, Chinese politicians, they're very level-headed. But but that doesn't mean... They're like dispassionately... American politicians are all talk and no bite. American politicians are like, we're going to blast your country to smithereens because you're fucking a terrorist. And then we bomb one church and call it a day. I feel like China's the opposite. I feel like China is like very like, it's like the mob. Like they're like, well, by the way, every government is a mob in a sense. But I feel like Chinese politicians are almost like the opposite, where like there's no energy behind what they say. There's no emotion behind what they say, but they stand on business. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Chinese politicians are like, you know, if America wants to continue in this tariff conflict, China will fight to the end. That should make everyone terrified. The Chinese are disciplined. They are smarter than us. I am a racist. I'm a Chinese supremacist. Like I am. They are smarter. They are more powerful. Like I'm learning Mandarin. I'm going to China. I'm done. I'm done with this country. I'm looking at a camera that was made in China. Everything in this podcast studio was made in China. My parents banged in China. I'm a Chinese national. I'm not. But like, I just don't see how this is productive. It's almost like politicians don't have our best interests in mind. For everyone that voted for Trump, it's almost, and then got fired because of the tariffs, it's almost like he doesn't care about your employment. It's almost like this is a big game to these people. It's almost like they don't care if Sean's show can't buy a second camera. You understand? You understand what these tariffs are going to do to the production costs of Sean's show? This affects all of us, guys. Your ability to listen to me whine and bitch and moan is at stake. Guys, if you want to, you understand, like you might, let me put it into terms that are important to you. If you're listening to my voice right now, maybe you don't care about tariffs. Maybe you like it when I talk about White Lotus and porn or something. Let me tell you why this is an important story. If you want to see this show continue to grow and you want to be able to watch the show and have us cut to another angle that shows another profile of my face, if that's important to you, you should care about these tariffs, because I can't buy a second camera. It's going to cost too much money, right? Because guess what? The people that manufacture these cameras, their input costs just doubled. And they're going to pass that cost on to me. So you know, at the end of the day, who really pays for the tariffs? It's your boy. It's your boy. Well, it's my dad. My dad's going to pay. My dad's going to pay for all. And that's just really sad, is my dad has to suffer. I'm going to have to ask for more money from him next month. You know how much that pains me to have to text my dad and say, Dad, I'm sorry. I need another $200 this month. And say some lie like I'm waiting to get paid from my day job. I need some money. It's a lie. I've just spent the money. I've spent the money. And you know who ends up getting that money? China. So I'm kind of all over the place with this story. What's that paragraph say, George, that I highlighted? It's a dire situation. It's a dire situation. Yeah, let's read some of this article. I can maybe cut to this. Okay, a little more context for you guys. Let's take a look. The administration has scheduled talks with South Korea and Japan, two close allies and major trading partners, and the Italians. You ever watch Django Unchained, George? Not Django Unchained. Inglourious Bastards. The Italians. I'm an Italian. I feel like that's kind of like what we need to assemble a team of, like Inglourious Bastards, except I don't know, like a counter-tariff Inglourious Bastards team. I want 100 tariff contracts from every one of you soldiers. I want 50 tariff contracts. These are highly tailored deals, Trump said at a White House event where he signed executive orders aiming at boosting coal production. We've had talks with many countries, over 70. They all want to come in. Our problem is I can't see that many that fast. The White House has made it clear that country-specific tariffs of up to 50% would nevertheless take effect at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Time as planned. I mean, this is crazy. Listen to this. Trump has ratcheted up duties on its imports to 104% in response to counter-tariffs Beijing announced last week. China has refused to bow to what it called blackmail and has vowed to fight to the end. So where does this land? So if China retaliates and then re-retaliate again, are we just going to be charging each other 1,000% on imports? I mean, where does this end? Where does this end, folks? I don't know. Like, I mean, if neither party backs down, this is like a game of chicken with China. And we all know when it comes to chicken, Chinese chicken is the best type of chicken. You understand? You following me? Trump's sweeping tariffs have raised fears of a recession and upended a global trading order that has been in place for decades. Right now, we've received the instruction to prioritize our allies and our trading partners like Japan and Korea and others. White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett said on Fox News. You know, again, like I don't know. I don't know if this is going to induce a recession. I feel like, you know, there's one angle here where they're intentionally, the administration's intentionally creating these tariffs to manufacture a recession. We need a refreshin, not a recession. People, we don't need a recession. We need a refreshin. Hit it, George. We are family. We need a little refreshin. I got all my tariffs with me. Everyone has tariffs together. Sorry I didn't do a song. I've been trying to do more songs, but I've been really busy. I hope you guys like my parody songs. I did anecdote about erectile. I don't have ED, by the way. But I digress. Let's move on. What's our next story, George? I think we have something to do with the recession. Let's do the Cybertruck story. I feel like this will tie in pretty well. So here's a fun one. Tesla sitting on thousands of unsold Cybertrucks as it stops accepting its own cars as trade-ins. Now, this is a story that I love. This is a story that it's all going to be okay. It's all going to be okay. As long as Tesla's inventory is slowly withering away and becoming useless, it's all going to be okay. Okay? We all just need to remember that Elon Musk is suffering. And that's really the only thing that I'm clinging to right now is that Elon is suffering. Despite producing the Tesla Model Y, Tesla has had a rough time in 2025. I wonder why. Isn't it odd? What possibly could be happening that's making Tesla have a rough year? Now, I don't know. I am a huge fan of Tesla. I've always loved it. Electric vehicles, helping the world, helping the climate, buying a Tesla to save the world, being a Nazi. These are the things that I believe in and are. It's amazing. It's amazing that his company is still around. It's amazing that people still dick ride this guy. And I know you're probably, if you're listening to this, you're probably not someone that dick rides Elon Musk. But it's amazing that there are still people out there that will die on Elon Musk's dick. They'll die riding his dick. It's not a hill. Elon's dick is a molehill. It's very small. And now they won't even accept trade. Let me clarify what this story is saying. The Cybertruck is so hated that Tesla won't even take it back. It made the fucking car. It made the truck. Can we read the headline? Can you go back up again, George? This is what it's saying. Tesla is sitting on thousands of unsold Cybertrucks as it stops accepting its own cars as trade-ins. That's how unpopular the Tesla brand is. If you're an owner of Tesla, you can't go back and be like, hey, can I trade this in for a different one? They're like, dude, get that Nazi shit out of here, bro. And you're like, no, like, I thought you guys are Tesla. Like, no, that's get out of here, Nazi scumbag. Like the Tesla and I read this take. I read a lot of stuff online, and one thing that people say when they're defending Tesla is they're slowly walking back what they're defending. Like it used to be like people would like die hard, red line, you criticize Elon, you're anti-humanity. Like 2 years ago, if you shit on Elon Musk, people would be like, you're a hater. What are you are you bought by the oil and gas industry? What's wrong with you want to drive a combustible engine forever? And then like 2 years go by, and now they're like, well, Elon might be a Nazi, but the other people that work there are like good people, and you can't discount what they did. Like that's a big jump in the battle with me on one side and Elon on the other. We've made a lot of ground, and that is what I want to highlight. We've made a lot. The Elon hate fan club has made a tremendous amount of ground in 2025. Elon is, I forgot to say this, but just reminded me, there were a bunch of protests over the weekend. There were a bunch of protests around the nation protesting Tesla. Can we look up that story? I forgot to do this one, but maybe just look up like Tesla protests, because they were around the whole country, and I kind of want to know more about these. So we're doing a real-time update, so forgive me that I'm not up to date on this, guys. Why don't we watch a little bit of this video? Let's see here. All right. So if you're just Washington, if you're just listening, could turn it down a little bit, Jordan? Thank you. Beautiful. We got a Trump, a baby Trump. If you're just listening, we got a bunch of people with the signs. That video wasn't too detailed, but protests were happening around the country, guys. I'm not sure if you went to one. Protesters across the U.S. rally against Trump and Musk. Stop destroying America. Protesters across the U.S. came together on Saturday, April 5th, for a nationwide hands-off protest, demonstrating resistance against the actions of Donald Trump and Doge lead Elon Musk. Hands off. Now, I'm a big proponent of protests. I support them. I think that I didn't hear about them because no one self-immolated. We need to step up, guys. If you want change in the world, you got to self-immolate. That's like something you got to. All right, that's a little dark. But I mean, and by the way, like, I'm not gonna do it. Like, I'm a fucking asshole. Like, I'm the type of guy that's gonna be like my dad's a landlord. Like, I'm bad for the world. Like, I pretend to be a good guy. I'm like a net negative guy for the world because I'm the type of guy, like, my thought process is I'm like peaceful protests aren't effective. We need history, cultural, government revolutions have always involved violence, and we need to be violent. And then, but I'm like, but not me. Someone else do it. Someone else do it. And that is the problem. I think that is the problem with a lot of these protests, is it's like, I read about these protests, and someone was like, wow, nationwide protests not a single, no violence. They compared it to January 6th, where they're like, wow, protests across the country, no capitals were stormed. And that's actually a bad thing. They were celebrating that like it was a good thing. But that is one thing that the Republicans have as an edge on Democrats. They're dumb and violent. Democrats need to get dumb and violent. We need to storm some capitals. If the Republicans could storm the Capitol, the Democrats should be able to storm Tesla's HQ. I want to see a non-binary blue-haired person put their feet up on Elon Musk's desk. That's the type of revolution we need. We need a non-binary Brooklyn person with Doc Martens to put the fucking, you know what I'm saying? That's going to amp people up. Donald Trump has got to go. It's like, okay, that didn't work. It didn't work. Hey, ho, ho. I still shop at Whole Foods. Hey, ho, ho. It's like, it's not nothing. I'm not trying to be a fucking asshole. Like, I'm not trying to be that, like, oh, like, why are you even bothering to protest? I get that, like, it's social change is about marginal. I understand the nuance. I understand that social change is about marginal change. Marginal. Social change is marginal. So I'm not trying to discount the intention of the protest. I understand, like, the intention of these protests is to fight against Social Security. Now, the reason I didn't go to these protests is because I was busy repositioning my 401k, which I think a lot of the people at these protests don't have. No, I'm kidding. That's mean. I don't know. My mom texted me and she said she was at the protest. She was at a protest. I was like, Mom, you're like a fake Democrat. She's like, I was at an Elon Musk protest. I'm like, yeah, but you charge rent. You can't protest Elon Musk and charge rent. You can't be renting. I don't know. It just feels wrong. It feels like that's not our plate. Like I don't know. It's a very confusing time. I think it's a very confusing time to be an American, no matter where you stand on the political spectrum. I feel like the Trump administration has abandoned the large majority of its voters because a lot of Republicans rely on government programs. And this is not a new thing, right? Like, it's not a new thing. It's not a new thing that I'm saying, but I feel like every election cycle, people forget this shit. When you like I don't understand, like, people get brainwashed. Like, I feel like people that vote for either party, they get brainwashed and they forget what they actually benefit from, what benefits they're actually getting from the federal government. Like, a lot of veterans voted for Trump, and suddenly he wants to come and cut these programs that you get paid for. Rolling back Social Security, privatizing Social Security, rolling back government health care. I was at this wedding, and the bride, not the bride, what's the other guy called? The groom. So I'm fucking stupid. I can't believe anyone listens to this. The groom. The groom was this is a funny story. I'm just going to share it. I'm not going to say the names because they're lovely people. The groom of the event is an oncologist, a cancer doctor. And I'm going to do a direct quote. I was joking around. By the way, invite me to your wedding because I'm really funny at weddings. We were at the rehearsal dinner or whatever, and some of the people at the rehearsal dinner, they were had dietary restrictions. And so the guy came over and was like, what are you allowed to eat? And she's like, oh, I don't eat meat. And he's like, well, I have fish. And then this woman, she's like, asked the table, she's like, is fish meat? And I put my Dr. Pepper down. Perfect timing. I go, let's not get political. This is a wedding. Come on. Clean, slick joke. I was hot. I was on fire the whole weekend. That's funny, right? Is fish meat? Let's not get political. But I asked the groom, who's an oncologist, I was like, how much does it cost to get an MRI? I was like, I want an MRI. Can I get an MRI? And he was like, you have to get sick first. And I was like, that's our healthcare system in a nutshell. Because you know what? The reason I have to get sick first to get the MRI is because if I get it now, we might catch it too early. And then they can't sell me chemo. Do you understand? And I'm not the first comedian to say this. I think Chris Rock was the first guy to say it. The money is in the medicine, not the cure. And that's true. And it's like, you know, whether Trump got elected or, I mean, and again, I feel like with Trump's administration, it's just a fucking, it's just sad. But like, it's always been like that. And it's just like upsetting. Like I don't care who's president. I don't care about most culture war issues. I just want an MRI. Why can't I get an MRI? Why can't I get an MRI? They can't be that much to operate. You put a button, you go and it spins and you get an MRI. Is it really? Are MRI machines used 24/7? I doubt it. I would go at 3 a.m. How about we do discount pricing? Can I get an MRI at like 4 a.m.? I'll fucking operate the machine myself. Once this show gets big enough, I'm going to buy an MRI machine. I'm not going to upgrade the studio because of the tariffs. I'm going to buy an MRI and I'm going to give George an MRI. Everyone involved in Sean's show, if you're a longtime listener, I will hook it up. Can I do that? Is it illegal for me to rent another office space and buy an MRI machine and just sell MRIs? I don't know. Like, is this? I feel like people ask these questions and then the CIA murders them. Like, I feel like these are the questions. Like, I ask questions. I feel like most political commentators or comedians, they don't cut through to the juice of what really matters. Like, I'm surprised Bernie Sanders was never assassinated, to be honest with you. Because Bernie Sanders talks about Citizens United, right? Legalizing corporate lobbying. He talks about stock buybacks. You know, he talks about the military industrial complex. Like, he talks about the healthcare industry. These are the things that are reform in these areas are usual. Like, Democrats say that they support a lot of this stuff, but generally nothing gets done on either side of the aisle. Now, again, maybe if I buy an MRI machine, I can save the world. Maybe. Can you look that up, George? I know we're going a little off track here. Just type in like MRI machine for purchase. How much is an MRI machine? Am I allowed to buy one? I mean, I'll buy one. Because then I can get an MRI like every 6 months. If it's like 10 grand, let me do a down payment. I'll take healthcare. Here we go. While you can't buy an MRI machine for personal use, why not? What am I gonna build a bomb? While the cost of an MRI scan, I love this country. This is how you look at, let me read this to you. This is what's fucked. While you can't buy an MRI machine for personal use, according to who? According to fucking who? While you can't buy an MRI machine for personal use, the cost of an MRI scan can range from $400 to $12,000 or more, depending on factors like location, the type of scan, and the number of CEOs murdered in the past quarter. The cost of an MRI scan without insurance can range from $400 to $12,000 or more. Your out-of-pocket costs will depend on your specific plan, including deductibles, co-pays, and co-insurance. Can you scroll down? I mean, I don't. Why? Here we go. Can you buy an MRI machine? No. Fuck you. Why the fuck? What is there? This is what I'm talking about, guys. This is. You know how I always talk about fentanyl and how fentanyl should be legal? I'm telling you, the same thing. This is where I am a libertarian. The same thing, like, you understand the reason why MRIs are not available. This might be like the worst take ever. Like, there may be a very good reason that MRIs are not allowed. But I just feel so passionate, like, okay, here we go. No, MRI machines are not available for personal purchase. The cost of an MRI machine can range from $225K to over $500K for the premium models. Isn't that wonderful? $500,000 for the Ferrari MRI. Honestly, I want to dive deeper on this. I know. Let's look up why cannot I purchase an MRI machine? I'm curious. I want to know. This is important. Let's take a look. Drum roll, please. Okay. You can't directly buy, quote unquote, an MRI machine for personal use, as they are specialized, expensive, and require trained personnel and a specific environment for operation. MRI machines are incredibly expensive. Okay. So are houses, but I can buy a house. That's a non-answer. Medical necessity. Medical MRI scans are typically ordered to diagnose medical conditions, not for general use. But that exists so that you make money off people with cancer. The reason that rule exists is so that you don't get, I heard it from myself from an oncologist who said, you don't get an MRI scan until you get sick. Fuck you. Literally, fuck your ass. Literally? How do you say that to someone who just wants an MRI? I'm not asking, you don't understand. You guys don't understand. I'm not asking for a yacht. I'm asking to own and operate an MRI machine. It's a very different, but honestly, it is unreasonable. It is kind of unreasonable to ask for an MRI. Santa, all I want for Christmas is an MRI machine. MRI machines use strong magnetic fields, which can be dangerous for individuals. Again, I don't have any pacemakers. Again, how hard? These are the questions that are going to get the CIA to assassinate me. Why? Again, operating an MRI machine, not that hard. Not that hard. I bet I could learn to operate an MRI machine in 20 minutes. I don't know where I was going with this, but I just feel like that was something that needed to be highlighted. The guy said, you know what? I'm at the point where I'm going to feign illness to get an MRI scan. I'm not a hypochondriac. I merely want to. Isn't every human entitled to as many MRI scans as they want? Is this unreasonable? This is what Fox News will clip this up. This is like what they'll clip up and be like, well, I'd love if they clipped up anything from the show. But that's what like Republicans clip up, is they clip up a guy going, I want unlimited MRI scans. Isn't every human entitled to unlimited MRI scans funded by Jeff Bezos? We all, by the way, as taxpayers, we all pay for MRI scans. Why can't I get one? Let me get an MRI scan. Okay, I've juiced that topic way too hard. What's left? Let's move on to that TechCrunch article. The Mr. Beast. We're gonna talk about speaking of 21st century welfare programs. Let's talk about Senor Beast. Mr. Beast is 21st century government welfare. At last, this is an article from TechCrunch. At last, Mr. Beast weighs in on the global economic crisis du jour. So, if you live under a rock, Mr. Beast is our president. Mr. Beast is the real president. His name is, what's his real name? Something. I forget his real name. Who cares? His real name is Mr. Beast. But Mr. Beast has Donald. What's his name? Jimmy Donaldson. Our good friend Jimmy, the YouTuber, is unsurprisingly wading his way into the political theater. An article from TechCrunch here. Your 401k is suffering. The billionaires are fighting. Not true. They all love each other. They all fuck. The gamers are imperiled. Not even the penguins on McDonald Island, where no humans reside, have been spared. Oh, by the way, like we tariffed the Penguin Island, but I guess I read that there were a bunch of shell corporations that actually were based there. No one knows the truth is not real anymore. Literally, they could tariff a Penguin Island and then spin it to find a way where, like, oh no, it actually makes sense that they tariff the penguins, and no one knows what's real anymore. And that is the power and the insanity and the power of Trump. Is if you watch The Apprentice, the documentary where I forget who played Trump, but he was like, he's like, 3 rules of business. What is the truth? There is no truth. Fuck you. What I say is the truth. It's true. Fuck you. That is true. It's very crazy. That's his philosophy. YouTuber and chocolatier. It's crazy that Mr. Beast is a chocolatier. He's a chocolatier. Mr. Beast has weighed in on President Trump's controversial plan to impose sweeping tariffs. The prolific YouTuber is probably the most influential public figure among American children. That is scary. You may not like it, but it's true. I would say that that's true. And that's why Mr. Beast is going to run for president in probably 1 or 2 election cycles. You guys realize that I don't think people understand that guys, don't worry. Don't worry, everyone. Things seem bad right now, but 4 years from now, the presidential election is going to be Mr. Beast versus Logan Paul. Okay? And they'll both be running it'll be the two candidates that'll be running for president in 2028. It's going to be Mr. Beast running on the Republican ticket and Logan Paul running on the Nazi Party ticket. And that's going to be our choices. And then Bernie Sanders will somehow still be alive, and he'll be running under the Green Party. I don't think people realize in 2028 it's going to be like Kanye. It's going to be like Paul Ye for Kanye on one side. It's going to be Paul and Kanye on the Nazi ticket. And then the sane party will be like, it'll be like Mr. Beast and then like Sabrina Carpenter, because you need a woman in there. Throw a woman in there, right? Or Swift. It'll probably be Taylor Swift. It's gonna be Beast, Swift, and Paul Ye, and that's the cut. That is the people, because like Gen Z will be finally old enough to vote. Those are the people that are going to be running our country. It's people that understand the power of YouTube. Our country is going to be run by YouTubers, and not the smart kinds of YouTubers like me that get 12 views. I'm talking about the ones that suck. The moment I get a plaque behind me, let me just say it. The moment I'm successful enough where I get one of those YouTube plaques, the silver one that's like, you reached 100K subscribers, and I put it on a shelf behind me, just put a bullet in my head. I'll have sold out. Even if I tell you that I haven't sold out, it's over. Art is ruined by scale. It's so hard to maintain authenticity when you have scale. It's just this fact. It's just a fact. Because, I'll say whatever the fuck I want right now about Israel. But like, maybe if I build a team and I have a family to feed, you may never know it. You may never know it, but there will be a day when I sell out. I'm just kidding. That's all a lie. I don't know. But it's like, it's sad. Anyway, let's go back to Mr. Beast. I always have to wedge in Israel somehow. Also, Israel is bombing places again. Like the cease. Okay, anyway, we don't have time for Israel. Check out my Israel stuff on the Patreon. It's too crazy for YouTube. Which is owned by Zion. Okay. I don't actually know if that's true. Ironically, this is what thank God, everyone. Mr. Beast has finally weighed in on the tariffs. We've all been waiting for Jimmy Donaldson, who gives away money. Also, I want to say this. Mr. Beast is a fucking psychopath. Have you seen this guy? Have you seen Mr. Beast? There's a really crazy YouTube video that all of you guys need to watch. It was a guy who was in a Mr. Beast challenge where he was put in a room for 100 days. And basically, he was in a room for with the lights on. So imagine he's in this room with a bed and food and the lights were on 24/7. And he was basically saying the challenge was spend 100 days in this room and you'll get $1 million or 100K or whatever. Now, this video is really interesting because they had to cut off the video. They had to cut off and cancel this challenge because guess what? This guy was going crazy. Imagine spending 100 days alone in an LED lit white room. And they made him like run a marathon. Like they gave him a treadmill and said, run a marathon and we'll give you an extra 50K or something. Watch the video. This guy's mind is shattered because of Mr. Beast. I know he agreed to do this challenge, but after the challenge, they looked it up and they realized that what they put this guy through is against the Geneva Convention. Like it's a war crime. Like Mr. Beast committed a war. What that guy went through for a YouTube video is banned in Gitmo. The guys that did 9/11 get treated better than this guy that Mr. Beast had on his show. And that's what it feels like to be an American citizen right now. It feels like we're all in this big white room and the lights are up and they're cranked up to 1,000,000% and no one can go to sleep. And the horrors only get worse and we're all hallucinating and we don't know what's real anymore. And we're hallucinating that we're all hallucinating that TV is still good and music is still good. You know what I mean? But thank God Jimmy has something to say about the tariffs. Let's read this story. I want to read some deets. Let's take a look here. Can you scroll up a little bit, George? Thank you. Okay. Ironically, this is Mr. Beast. This is a quote from Mr. Beast. Ironically, because of all the new tariffs, it is now way cheaper to make our chocolate bars we sell globally, not in America, because other countries don't have a 20% tariff on our COG. Now, if you guys don't know, COG stands for cost of goods. And this is why I hate Mr. Beast and people like Mr. Beast, because they talk in business terms. Guys, I work in finance. I'm a finance guy. I don't talk in the public about EBITDA or gross margin, because I know that you guys don't know what that is. But Mr. Beast doesn't give a fuck. This is why he's a psychopath. He doesn't no one knows what COG is. Mr. Beast, shut the fuck up. Go shove some chocolate up your ass. Can you stop? This is, and I'm telling you guys, I've been right before. What you need to look for, Sam Altman, Mr. Beast, that guy we talked about last week, the Claude AI CEO, Davio. These names you need to know. These are your future fascists. If it's not, and again, that's why I hate Elon, but that's why I'm telling you guys, it's not, we have bigger issues than Elon. Unfortunately, we have bigger issues than Elon. If it's not Elon, it's gonna be Mr. Beast. We have serious structural issues in the way our country operates. So that if Elon gets murdered or hopefully commits suicide, I can't wish for violence. I think that is illegal. By the way, disclaimer, I love everyone and I don't wish anyone commit violence on anyone. If you're just listening, I winked. I'm kidding, I didn't. But don't do that. But again, even if Elon dies or if the people in power right now are replaced, there's just going to be others. Unfortunately, there's a psychopath standing in line right behind Elon Musk. So we have a structural problem in the country. And when people like Mr. Beast, I don't want to hear what Mr. Beast has to think about the tariffs. Can people stay in their lane? Can people please stay in their lane? I swear to Christ, if Mr. Beast runs for president in 2028, I don't know what I'm going to do. I might go live with the penguins. I'm going to go live with the penguins. I don't care if there's nothing there. Who will join me? Will anyone be brave and join me on a small yacht? I'll get there on a yacht. We can lease a yacht together. We'll rent a yacht or even a cruise. Not a yacht. We'll keep it cheap. And we'll go to the penguin island that was tariffed. Okay? And then we'll probably get bombed. Mr. B is going to bomb that island. If there's nowhere to hide. And that's what's sad is there's nowhere to hide. But that's the show, guys. That's all the time I have today. I really appreciate you joining. We have a lot that we did not get to, so join the Patreon. I owe you guys a Patreon, so join. We do an extra episode every week. On the Patreon, I will be talking more about our good friend Brian Johnson, who, if you don't remember, is the Silicon Valley CEO who is trying to live forever and ironically may die early, which is to the delight of everyone, the guy that's trying to live forever may die fast. Republican, Democrat, we all want Brian Johnson to die soon. So join the Patreon where I will be talking about that in more detail. Patreon.com/Sean Show. Link in the description. Finally, I will be on the road headlining stand-up comedy shows. I'm in Columbus, Ohio coming up. Tickets will be on sale for Columbus, Ohio very soon. I will be in Dallas in December. I know that's very far away from now, but maybe you're listening to this in December. So link in the description, seanreillycomedy.com. Like the show on YouTube. You guys know what to do. Please give the show a review on Spotify. Follow the show on Spotify. Any of these things really help the show grow. And we're cooking. We're on fire. I will only get more powerful as the country gets worse. So look out for that. If you'd like advice on your financial portfolio, DM me at Sean Riley Comedy, and I can tell you how to wire transfer all your money to me. That's the show, ladies and gentlemen. Stay safe out there, and we will see you next week. I love you. Goodbye.